Hey everybody, today I just wanted to do a quick video on in LabVIEW how you can set basically character limits on strings. So there's not really an out-of-the-box way to do this. It's not like there's just like some property you can set that only allows some amount of characters. It's something that you do have to do programmatically. So I have this VI here just as a little bit of a demo. So what this is a way that a VI that can be built into various software. From the software, users are able to report issues, so they can go describe the issue, what's taking place, select which test stand, and report the issue. In this case, this is sending an email, but it's emailing to basically to my phone. So it's using like the email to SMS for your phone provider. And doing so, that actually introduces some character limits. So it's convenient that it comes direct as a text instead of an email, but it does introduce some character limits, whereas an email can be very, very long. So I needed to implement some checking to make sure operators aren't sending something too long, too descriptive, that they describe what's going on and optimize their characters so that I don't only get a part of their message. The other option would be you could break apart their message into multiple segments that are of an appropriate length and send them separately. That's doable as well. I just didn't want to get blown up with a million texts, so I just decided to limit their ability to only 130 characters. So yeah, let's look at how we're doing this, and then we can demo. So here, just very start, I'm just writing, so my count is actually this little guy here, which is just going to show how many characters we've used up so far of our limit. And as we type and add characters, this is going to show where we're at. So I'm just writing that we have 0 as we start out, and I'm also writing just an empty string. I should be using an empty string constant there, not just a string constant that is empty. That's my bad. But yeah, please describe the issue here, which is just this text box. And then in my event loop, it's actually really simple. All I'm doing is looking at value change, and every time that the value changes, which you'll want to make sure as well on this string, I have selected update value while typing. So that's an important property for this. If you don't have that enabled, it's not going to actually update until the user moves out of the text box. So whether they click somewhere else on the screen, or if it's limited to single line, if they hit like enter to get out. But most often if they go click somewhere else, either on an empty part of the screen or they click a button or something, then it would actually update the value. So we want to make sure we set it to update while typing, because that way every time a character is added or removed, it's going to trigger a val change. And then we can act on it. So here I'm just doing a little check, pull up context help. So here's just our string length function. It's just returning the length of the string. I'm doing a little comparison here to see if it is equal to or greater than 131. So we're okay with 130 characters and below, but anything above that is not okay. So if it's less than that limit, we're just going to update the count to show how many characters we're at. So pretty simple. And then if we are over, we're just going to, here I'm just using this string subset function, so it's just going to pull the first 130 characters out of our string. So yeah, we get, that way it'll just kind of reset us back to where we were. And then I'm also going to make sure that this sits at 130. And then once the user, clicks, the button, this is the code, which I've hidden some of the, my phone number and stuff like that. But yeah, just some simple SMTP functions that show how to send an email. And I have some previous videos on SMTP if you're interested in that. It's really simple. So yeah, let's go look at what this looks like as we run it. So as I run it, you can see I have 0 out of 130 characters. As I type, that number goes up. And I can type a whole bunch of characters. So let's get it all the way up to our limit. Sweet. So yeah, you can see we're at 126, 127, 128, 129, 30. And now we're at our max. So now if I type another character, it's going to not allow that, right? You can see, if you look really closely at the cursor, you can tell it's kind of moving and moving back because it's starting to add that character and then remove it quickly. So that's a good way to implement a character limit. So now you cannot type more than 130 characters onto this field. I never have to worry about text getting broken apart now. So yeah, that's going to be how you can implement string length limits on your different controls in LabVIEW, and thanks for watching.
Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.